Welcome to the Brent Weinbach podcast. My name is Brent Weinbach, and I was at the hospital recently. Don't worry about it. It wasn't for me. It was for somebody else. But I was there, and it was no big deal. Believe me. And I saw that there was some young women standing around, and it said volunteer on their shirt. They were all wearing one shirt. The three of these women, they were all in one big shirt and said volunteer. And, you know, one woman had her arm sticking out one end and the other one, they were just kind of all wearing one shirt together. No, they were wearing separate shirts. Okay. And it said volunteer on the shirt. And I asked somebody about something, and they said, oh, just ask one of the volunteers about that. And I thought to myself, well, okay, I didn't register exactly when that their shirt said volunteer. They said ask the volunteer, and then it dawned on me. Wait a second, these people are not employees here. They're just volunteering at the hospital. This was in the emergency room. Wait, was the emergency room? Yeah, emergency room. And you know that the emergency room of the hospital, it's more than one room, right? You know it's more than one room. Anyway, they were there, and they said, and because I don't know, for some reason I thought when I saw volunteer and all that stuff, I just thought, well, they must be employees in some way or another. Anyway, I asked them, I said, so you just one of them, I said, are you just volunteer here? You don't get paid or anything? She goes, yeah. And I said, I said, wow, that's really generous. Do you get school credit for it or anything like that? And she goes, no, I only do she says she does 4 hours a week. I thought 4 hours a week? That's a lot. There's people that volunteer at the hospital to help out. They're just there to help. They don't get paid. These people are true angels, aren't they? I mean, these are real saints. They're just at the hospital giving up their free time. If I had free time, if I have 4 hours of free time, I mean, not to sound like a scoundrel, but I'm probably going to use that 4 hours to, go to the tanning salon and work on my full body tan. I want everything looking even on my body in case anybody sees it. And in case I look at myself in the mirror, I don't want any disruptions. I want a full even look all the way through. If I see any lines, it ruins the whole picture. It's kind of like tattoos in a way. You know how I feel about tattoos, right? I don't want that disruption of a pure surface. I want that clean slate. I want my body to be a clean slate. So, by the way, I had this thought recently that captions in movies, if you watch movies or TV shows with captions on, they're basically like the tattoos of media in a way, kind of. I mean, they're not supposed to be there, and please just don't do it. Look, do what you want with your life, but if you want my advice, watch a film. If you're watching a movie, watch it without any captions, okay? And if you can speak the language of a foreign film, then, don't have subtitles. But look, subtitles are necessary when it comes to foreign film. But ideally, the filmmaker didn't want those subtitles there, Anyway, just watch the movie, experience it on a visceral level, and if you can't hear something as well, or I'm not talking about somebody who's truly hearing impaired, but if you want a little more, you don't have any hearing issues, and you don't have, and you want more clarity on something, just take it in for what it is, as a visceral experience. That's what the filmmaker intended. And then for a second viewing, okay, if you want to turn on the captions, but they don't want something blinking on the bottom of the screen, or they want you looking at everything, not just looking at the bottom of the screen. So just look, no captions, okay? No tattoos, no captions, full body tan. That's what you got to use your free time for, no disruptions. If I have look, 4 hours. I mean, that's not 4 hours a week is a lot of. If I had 4 hours a week of free time, I got to use that to catch up on 11 seasons of the TV show MASH. I mean, how am I going to get through, every episode of MASH? I mean, how many episodes is that? Over 500 episodes of MASH? I mean, look, I just want to say that I genuinely really admire the people volunteering at the hospital. It's a busy place. There's a lot of activity at the hospital, especially in the emergency room. You ever been in the pit, the PITT? You ever been inside Brad Pitt? You ever seen Brad Pitt in the flesh? Because he's got a clean slate. Actually, I don't know what he has. I did see Brad Pitt once. I don't know, maybe you've heard me say this before, but I did deliver pizza to him, and he was wearing a cowboy hat and a baggy hooded sweatshirt and baggy kind of jeans and really big Nikes. I mean, we're talking basketball shoes. I mean, he looked like a basketball. He seemed like he could dunk. I mean, I would say that Brad Pitt probably looked like he could dunk. And he could probably dunk on me easily, I think. I'm just a little pipsqueak when it comes to Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's a big guy when you see him in real life. I saw him in real life, and he's tall. The guy is tall, and he's got a cowboy hat that makes him even taller. This was a long time ago. This was in the 90s, It was late 90s. It was around the time that I think Fight Club had come out, I think. And Jenny Aniston. Wait, what is her name? Aniston. Jenny Anderson. You know Jenny Anderson? It's the nickname for Jennifer Aniston. She was there too. I didn't see her though, but I heard her in my mind. No, I heard her in my ears. She answered the intercom. Anyway, yeah, I delivered food to him or whatever, and he just, he was a tall guy. He was larger than life. We're used to seeing celebrities on the big screen, and it makes them larger. It makes them kind of gods in a way. But then when I saw him in real life, he still kind of maintained that sort of godlike status because he sort of seems still so big in a way, But anyway, the emergency room named themselves after Brad Pitt. They call it the Pit, P-I-T-T. And it's because he's such a larger-than-life guy, and the work that they do at the emergency room is so, it's so intense. It's kind of larger than life itself. And anyway, all right. So these volunteers, though, I thought, geez, these people are just so, such giving people. So altruistic. It seems. I mean, these people are Mother Teresa. So then it made me think: are these people who volunteer, are they, what is their motivation? What are people's motivation to do good things like that? Just to simply be good? I don't have anything to do. Let's go to the hospital and volunteer. Let's just help out at the hospital. Or this is the dark part of me. Okay, this is the tanner part of me. When I've been in the tanning salon for too long, then this is the part of me that thinks this. I think, is there any kind of religious motivation there? Do people do good things because they think they need to in order to go to heaven or something like that? I mean, look, I know that's not the case for everybody. Okay, I'm just wondering what percentage of people are motivated by some sort of end goal of them going to some sort of heaven or something like that, where everybody is a sort of Brad Pitt type of guy, I mean, that's the real pit is heaven. You go to pit, and that's the ultimate pit, and everybody's kind of got cowboy hats on. But I don't know. I'm sure that, look, I do good things just to be good or just to help people. I do it, and I'm not thinking about the pit or anything like that. But I wonder if, but that's a pretty big commitment, 4 hours though, a week. They might just do one shift for the week. Oh, who knows? Maybe they do more than that. There's some really good people in this world, I'll just say. There's some good people, and then sometimes I just wonder wow, there's so many good people. Are some of these people being motivated to be good because they think that God wants that? It's kind of interesting how the word God is almost the word good, isn't it? But it's okay. Mother Teresa was religious, obviously, but wouldn't it be interesting if there was somebody who was not religious and did really, really good things? I mean, who has anyone been like that? Imagine if it was some sort of Mother Teresa, but with no spirituality at all. Just purely just believed in the power of people and just believed in connections between people. It is inspiring, it is inspiring. It does make me think, oh, maybe I should, help out somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if I feel like I have the time to do that, to be honest, to hang out at the hospital for 4 hours, Plus, it's wild at the hospital. There's wild things happening. I mean, there's people yelling and stuff, and there's people handcuffed to the bed. I already talked about that on a different episode. You can meet some interesting people there at the hospital, though. I do when I go to the hospital. I would like to, but it is good to do good things, and let's just all do that, whether you're religious or not. And I'm not, by the way, And look, I'll be honest with you. I don't go to the tanning salon, if I'm being honest with you. I never have and I never will, Seems kind of dangerous to go to a tanning salon, don't you think? I mean, it just seems like your skin is going to kind of turn into some sort of leather, So it feels like your skin will turn into some sort of fruit chew or something, or some sort of blue chew for you. It seems like somebody can strengthen their jaw on kind of gnawing on your skin if you go to a tanning salon or something like that. Hey, no disrespect to anybody who goes to the tanning salon. If you go to the tanning salon, hey, great. I hope it's doing your body wonders and stuff. And I hope you are, doing a full body tan there, because you don't want those disruptions, And by the way, natural disruptions, or scars and things like that, pay that no heed, It's just that there's something about an intentional disruption of a clean slate that seems kind of, disruptive. But anyways, there's sometimes I wonder if people ever make connections at the emergency room, because it's such it gets crowded there. I mean, sometimes you're waiting there hours, and there's so many people there from all walks of life. I wonder how many people meet people there and make connections, I wonder if people can meet love interests there and stuff, Because, you're experiencing some sort of trauma in some way, usually a physical trauma when you're at the emergency room. And when people bond on trauma, it's kind of like being in war or something like that. It's kind of like you're an emergency room veteran. If you meet in an emergency room and you had some kind of accident or something like that, and then you can kind of bond with your comrades from the ER. But can you hear that plane? You remember, I was at, you don't remember this because I only talked about it on the extended part of the episode, but you ever talk to a woman and you're chatting her up and you fail to notice that she has a ring on her ring finger, and you think it's going well, and it is going well. You know it's going well. There's some laughs being had, some interesting conversation, and you're kind of finding some common ground, some similar frames of reference. And then you ask for her phone number, and she gives it to you, and then follows it up with saying, "Oh, by the way, I have a husband." You ever have that happen? What's a good response for that? Because this is how I respond. Okay, someone goes, "Oh yeah, okay, so that's my number," and by the way, I am married, and I just respond and I go, "Ooh," I said, "Oh, you married?" "Ooh," I said, "Ooh," I said, "Ooh." You just go like that, and then they kind of just don't know what to make of that, and that's kind of makes you kind of intriguing. It makes you kind of a mystery boy in some kind of way. They think, who's this mystery boy? I'm kind of intrigued by this. I'm having second thoughts about my marriage now. No, you just go like this. You go, okay. I say, oh, just so you know, I am married, by the way. So you go, okay. All right. Well, I say, all right. Well, that's fine. But what's your, but what of it? If you kind of play it off like that, it's not awkward. Or you can go, oh, hey, I just so you know, I do have a husband, You go, girl, what's your man got to do with me? You just say that. You go, what's your man got to do with me? No, but for real though, what's your man got to do with me? You got to say it like that, and it is pretty effective. You just go, ooh, what's your man got to do with me? What, you got, oh, she goes, I already got a man. You say, what's your man got to do? What's your man got to do with me? You go, what your man got to do with me? What your man got to do with me? What your man got to do? What your man got to do with me? What's your man got to do with me? You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like. What's your man got to do with me? You kind of just go on like that for a little bit. And it's kind of hypnotic in a way. You know what I mean? You kind of... I think that's how you kind of ease your way out of the situation is you kind of distract them like that. You kind of hypnotize them. You hypnotize them with your smooth voice, and you just go, ooh. You go, oh. She goes, hey, you oh, okay, that's my number, but just so you know, I am married. You go, oh, and then you just make your way to the bathroom, and you never come back. You don't have to explain it. She'll be thinking about you for years. She'll be thinking about you for years. She'll be thinking about you for years. What's your man got to do with me? What should be thinking about you for years? I can't stand. I can no longer pee while standing up. Did you know that about me? I can't do it anymore. I can't. I need to sit down where I have a little more control over where things are going, because if I'm standing up, there's no telling which way I will spray. There's no telling which way I spray when I'm standing up. I mean, not only am I a leaker, but I spray. And I think that a lot more people spray than they admit. And there are droplets of pee that get on you, or sometimes you just spray yourself. It just happens, and then now you've got a wet leg, and you don't want that. Well, maybe you do, actually. I don't know what you're into, but I don't want it. And I sprayed my leg. I sprayed my leg the other day. Here's what I'm developing. I'm developing a bib, a crotchal bib, okay? It's a bib that goes kind of around your ball sack, kind of. Or maybe you can even just have it go, just cover your ball sack and your thighs. You want to cover everything with the bib. I have been standing up to go pee, and I've been making a bib out of paper towels. Hopefully they've got paper towels. If they don't have paper towels, then don't even go to the bathroom. Hold it till you get to a place with paper towels. And I kind of just put the paper towels, I shield my legs, but I kind of have to make it like a cone where it's, those cones that dogs wear if they have some sort of injury. and they put the cone, they kind of do the cone head thing, but you do it on the cone, you kind of do a cone bottom in a way, a bottom half bib cone. But you can't make it too coned, because if it's too coned, then the pee will hit that. I mean, you have to make it so the stream is going to go past the bib. But anyway, but you just want to make sure that if you squirt in a different direction or in multiple directions, like I do sometimes. I think one time I had 3 different streams coming out of me at once. I had a 3-prong. I think I was peeing 3-prong before. It did happen. But it's pretty common that I'll go 2-prong. And it's really can be difficult. Peeing standing up can be a messy thing. Why does a pee hole do that? Sometimes the lips of a pee hole are just, I don't know, are they chapped or something like that? I think I got to start putting chapstick on my urethra or whatever it's called. So my glands. I got to just sort of, I think I need to keep my glands kind of, moist or something like that. Or what is it called when you de-chap it? Lotioned. I think I need to put lotion on my glands, I think. You know what a glans is, right? The glans is sort of the helmet, It's the army helmet that's on a penis. It looks like an army helmet, doesn't it? Don't you think it looks like an army helmet? You ever, it makes sense that a penis has an army helmet, because after I use my penis for peeing or whatever, I salute to it and I say, thank you for your service. If it does a good job, of course, if it does one stream and there's no spray, I say, thank you for your service, because he's got the helmet on and everything. He, she, whatever. Sometimes people's penises are she's. You know that, right? People have she penises. They do that. Some people call their penises a she. They say, oh, she's looking good, Oh, she's looking really tight with that helmet on right now. She's kind of a G.I. Jane of sorts. But I've been doing a thing where I get paper towels and I do the bib, and then after I'm, because I leak also afterwards, I will dab the, sort of the leaking faucet a little bit with the paper towel, and I put it in the trash because I don't want to flush it because it'll plug up the toilet or whatever. So I do that. Now, of course, at home, or, if it's a toilet I trust, then I will just simply sit down. It's the only way to pee these days, When you get a wild penis like mine, I don't even know how my penis got into the army. I mean, you would think that it would not pass certain psychological tests, because this thing is crazy. It's peeing everywhere now. I spray. They call me the skunk because of that. You know that? That's my new nickname, the skunk. Oh, did you see the skunks coming around the club today? Yep. Well, why is he called the skunk? Because he sprays. Oh, it's not because he stinks? No, he actually smells pretty good. He smells like oatmeal. So speaking of spray, I got squirted recently, not by myself. I got squirted by another man. Oh, man, I can't believe this happened. Another man squirted me, and I was at a thing where there was food. Okay, it was an outdoor thing where there was food, and there was this whole sushi kind of spread, and I wasn't really feeling like eating that. It was actually pretty hot out, and I kind of thought, I don't know about all this, I mean, it was high quality food, believe me. I mean, it was pretty yummy too, I got to admit. I mean, man, I had this skewer. It was a beef skewer. It was really good, actually. But anyway, the whole thing was Japanese themed. That was in the shade, but out in the sun, the sun was hitting these nigiris were getting full body tans, if you know what I mean, and I kind of wasn't so sure about that. And they were getting it the natural way. They didn't even have to go to the salon to do that. But this stuff was sitting out. I mean, it wasn't sitting out for that long, but it was probably safe. I took a couple I took maybe 3 California rolls, okay? So it wasn't like I was totally opposed to it, but I wasn't really feeling in the mood for it, and to be honest, I used to like sushi a lot in the past, and I don't know, I kind of don't do it anymore for some reason. I mean, if you get a really good piece, I mean, mackerel, I'll do the mackerel. They didn't have any mackerel. I would have done mackerel if there was mackerel there. I love mackerel. But what's it called? Saba? Saba! So I got my little rolls there, and there was this it was one of those things. What are those things called? The squeezable tube. It was a tube of soy sauce or something. I think it was soy sauce. It's one of those. So a lot of times they have ketchup or mustard in them, but this one had soy sauce. It was kind of big. It was looking thick. I mean, this thing was looking like an extra large one of those things, right? It's one of those squeezable things with a little tip. And there was this other guy kind of near me, and he fumbled something or other, and he either knocked that squirter thing, he knocked it off of the table, or maybe he dropped it. But whatever the case may be, is it fell, and when it fell, it squirted soy sauce onto the ground. And I looked at myself and I thought, okay, great. It missed me. I didn't get hit with this soy sauce because the soy sauce is loose. It didn't take much for it to squirt out of there. The thing was full and juicy. And so I thought, okay, it didn't hit anything on me, So I felt good about that. And then the guy went down to pick up the tube, and he just very forcefully picked it up, because when he picked it up, he squeezed it, and it squirted all over me. It didn't squirt all over me, but it squirted all over my shoes. Well, it squirted on one of my shoes, and I thought, oh man, I got so lucky that it didn't squirt me on the way down, and then him picking it up is what did it. He picked it up, and as picking it up, when he held onto it and squirted it, I mean, it was a little haphazard of him to do that. I mean, he should have just, he should have just been careful when he picked it up, because that's not, anyway, whatever. It was an accident, but I can't say I wasn't a little bummed out, because as you know, I have a limited pair of these shoes that I have, these Reebok shoes, because they don't make them like they used to, and I've got, I think, 2 other pairs waiting for me in the closet, but this is my 3rd to last pair of these, and then I have to not wear white sneakers anymore. I have to just, probably have to, I don't know, I think I'm just going to have to start wearing Birkenstocks or something after this. With socks, of course, And anyway, I got squirted all over my shoe. Not all over, but it was the front of my shoe. And I could see that this very loose sauce, this watery sauce was seeping into the cracks of my shoe, And anyway, I got some paper towels or some napkins, and I wiped up as best as I could. And I just knew some of that soy sauce had gone into the cracks of the shoe. And I'm looking at my shoes right now as I say this. And I thought, okay, well, hopefully it didn't, I hope I kind of wiped most of it off. And I hope that I didn't, I hope it didn't really seep in too far or whatever. And I took off my shoe, and I noticed this brown little spot kind of in my, kind of near where my toe is on my sock. And I thought, whoop, there it is. That was, so at least one of the holes, those little air holes in the front of the shoe, at least one of the soy sauce had gone through at least one of those holes. And it did, kind of stain into my sock. And that just made me think, that sucks. Now I've got this soy shoe. Now it's going to, I thought it probably smells like soy sauce, and I don't know, who knows what kind of things it will attract, with crawling things it might attract. And so I went home and I tried to clean it as best I could. I tried to wipe it. It's hard to clean a shoe. How do you clean a shoe thoroughly that has soy sauce in it? I mean, I got a toothpick and I put alcohol on the toothpick. I don't know if this works, but I stuck it in the hole around the different holes that were in that zone of where the soy sauce came through. And I was kind of just sticking the toothpick through those holes and trying to clean the hole with the toothpick, with some alcohol on it. And then I got some other kind of wipe or something, and I was kind of trying to wipe the inside and trying to reach in and stuff. Anyway, I don't know. I think I even just sprayed it with alcohol. Not that I was just I want to kill the smell and I want to kill I don't know. I tried to, you know what? No, this is what I did. I sprayed alcohol on the front of my shoe and I tried to let that alcohol seep into the cracks of the rim or whatever so that it could sort of maybe mix in with the soy sauce and dissipate it in some kind of some way or something. I don't know. How many days does it take for soy sauce to decompose? Food decomposes over time, doesn't it? So soy sauce, I'm hoping one day will decompose and my shoe will be fully clean. But it really does suck to get squirted by not just myself, but another man. I think getting squirted in general is something I don't like to do, except I will say when I go swimming and it's really hot out and I'm exercising a lot in the pool and it is kind of like getting squirted that's kind of does feel like you're getting full body squirted, and that does feel good. I'll admit to that. So but yeah, I hate having food in my clothes. That's, if he squirted my bare skin, that would have been fine. I could wash that off, but it's hard to get food out of clothes. I mean, especially shoes. How do you clean shoes? But it was a good meal though. That beef was good. And I think there was probably some good dessert too. I think I might have had some sort of lemon kind of cake or something. I like fruity desserts, I think that, okay, sometimes, I don't know if you ever do this, but sometimes I have desserts and I'm by myself somewhere, or, okay, this is what it is. One time I ate something kind of spicy. I was by myself and I thought, okay, in order to counter the spiciness, I normally don't eat desserts by myself is what I'm getting at. And in order to counter the spiciness, I said, I better eat some sort of dairy thing. I think I need to get ice cream so that I don't have diarrhea. It'll counteract anything spicy and it will neutralize my stomach and I won't get diarrhea is what I thought. So I got ice cream by myself and I was kind of walking around eating ice cream and by myself. And I did think to myself that I feel like eating dessert alone must be what it feels like. I've never had alcohol before, but it feels like that's what it must feel like to drink alone. It seems like drinking is usually, I don't know, it seems like drinking alone is sort of feels like you're kind of being bad to your body and there's no social aspect to it. And I feel that way about desserts in a way. It feels like, I feel like I'm drinking alone if I have a dessert by myself, Now look, I might have a cookie with a sandwich. If I have a sandwich for lunch, I might have a cookie along with it. And that's maybe having like maybe a glass of wine or something. But if you have a dessert, eating ice cream by yourself feels, I don't know, it doesn't quite feel right to me. And I'm not trying to say, hey, if you drink alone, you're doing the wrong thing. It's your life. Do what you want. But I feel a little wrong about it. It seems like I shouldn't be doing that. It feels like I should be getting dessert with somebody else. We should get a treat together, I shouldn't be just, I don't know, eating a dessert by myself. I do it. Like I do it for lunch. I do have little desserts, but I don't know, going out to get ice cream by yourself. I don't know. It feels wrong to me. It just feels like, hey, you don't need to put this in your body right now. But I justified it, though. I wonder if that's how people justify alcohol. Do they think, oh, I need this to, the alcohol from this drink can disinfect any kind of poison that went into I need to use this poison to disinfect the other poison that went into my body or something like that. Maybe somebody thought that they ate poo or something, because that's how you get food poisoning, is there's usually some sort of poo in your food, some kind of bad particle of poo, maybe from a rat or something. And you think, well, I need to drink some alcohol to disinfect whatever that is. Maybe they think that, and maybe I thought that, and maybe it's the same reasoning I had when I thought I want to eat this ice cream to neutralize my stomach so I don't get diarrhea. Because speaking of squirting, I really don't like squirting out of my butt. It's just not. It doesn't feel. I mean, it rarely feels good. I saw. I'm gonna wrap it up. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. But I was at the supermarket and I saw this woman wearing a sweatshirt, and it was so weird. It said. First of all, she didn't seem, I don't know how to explain the way she looked, but she just looked like an ordinary woman. Okay. She didn't look like, she didn't look particularly alternative or something, but she was wearing this sweatshirt that said no sexual services on it. Is this some sort of new trend that I'm not privy to or something? I mean, you tell me. Is this some sort of new fad or something? It said no sexual services. And I think there was a phone number on there or some sort of, I think there was a phone number, but the phone number was a foreign phone number because it, had an international code on it or something. And the format wasn't the, North American format. No sexual services. And I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but there might have been some sort of foreign language writing on it too or something. Anyway, I don't know what this is or what it means, but it's a weird sweatshirt to wear in public, I think, at a family establishment like the supermarket. I mean, you've got kids there and you got, horny teenage boys there too, and they're looking at that thinking, say what? They're thinking, what's your man got to do with me? And you've got I don't know, families there. I mean, and then it says no sexual services. I know that's kind of saying, I mean, I guess they're saying that no, it's kind of like they're saying I guess they're saying they are family friendly and that there's no sexual services or something like that. Actually, sexual services is kind of family friendly in that sexual services can lead to families. But I don't know, just saying the word sexual on your sweatshirt, that just seems a little bit inappropriate to me, I think. Then again, I don't know. Maybe it's not. I mean, I don't know. These kids are learning about it in health class and stuff, I guess. I mean, imagine let's say a 7-year-old saying, Mom, what does no sexual services mean? What is that? What does that mean? Does that mean they don't do blowjobs? Mommy, does that mean they don't do blowjobs? Does that woman not do blowjobs, Mommy? Does that woman not do... Does she not stick thumbs up bums, Mom? Does she not stick a thumb up a bum? She's English, actually. She goes, Mummy, does that mean she doesn't stick any thumbs up bums? Are there no does she not put her thumb up her bum, Mummy? Mummy, what's a sexual service? Does that mean you don't put a thumb up inside a bum? Or does it mean that she won't be licking any willies today? Or does it mean, what's it mean, Mummy? I don't know. I see her sweatshirt. It seems inappropriate, Mummy. I don't know what to do. I'm thinking, what's your man got to do with me? The mom goes to the kid. She goes, well, I don't know what it means. She goes, what's your man got to do with me? She goes, why don't you... this is what she says. She goes, Mummy, what's no sexual services mean? Does it mean she's not going to be playing with his willy or licking his scrotum or whatever? And then the mom goes, I don't know, honey. Why don't you ask your dad? And then the kid goes, but Mummy, what's your man got to do with me? What's your man got to do with me? What's your man got to do with me, Mummy? Mummy, stop it. Stop it, Mummy. Stop it, Mummy. And then he gets really serious about it. Stop it, Mommy. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it, Mommy. What's your man got to do with me, Mommy? That's how English kids talk. They don't open their mouth. They just keep their teeth closed. What's your man got to do with me, Mommy? What's all this about no sexual services? What's all this about those sexual services, Mommy? Well, your mom says that they asked me, Dad. But I thought to myself, what's your man got to do with me? I'm going to continue on with this episode. I'm going to get to the bottom. I'm going to tell you, in the extended portion of this episode, I'm going to tell you about the time I sold out. Okay? And then if we have time, I'm going to get into the song. This song that I became aware of in the early 1990s and that I kind of investigated a little bit more of. I'm going to investigate it with you. We're going to figure out what's going on with this song on the extended. And if you want to join me on the extended, then join the Patreon, okay? It's patreon.com patreon.com/poundcast. That's POUNDCAST. And you get a bunch of previous episodes there that are extended, and you also get the whole backlog of the Poundcast on there too. Wow. That's a lot of stuff. I mean, you get all the backlog of stuff going back to when the Patreon was started, which was something like 2019 or 20 or something. And if you want to watch this show on video, you can watch it on youtube.com/Brent Weinbach podcast. Wait, is that what it is? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, yeah, Brent Weinbach podcast, or maybe it's at Brent Weinbach podcast. I think that's what it is, maybe. Hey, look, just try either one, or even just search on YouTube for Brent Weinbach podcast. It's easy, and you'll find the channel. And so, yeah, you can do that. And I don't know, if you get this on Apple Podcasts or anything like that, and you enjoy it, rate and review it, and maybe that will help spread it around and stuff. We have to rebuild the audience after changing the name, so why don't you just leave a new review? Maybe you left one in the past and leave another one. You know what I mean? It's probably about time at this point. You're probably due for another review. And I think that's about it. So thanks for watching or listening, and I'll see you next week, or we'll see you in a little bit in the extended version of the episode. My name is Brent Weinbach. This is the Brent Weinbach podcast. Bye-bye.